Before we get started on this week's watch, let's come over to ZTRADEZ.net, check out the terms and conditions page. If you do not agree to the terms and conditions, do not watch this video. If you do, feel free to watch this video, as well as join the newsletter, which is in the description of this video. You can also find our community, which is in the description of this video as well below. Let's jump into it. Let's jump into this, guys. Okay. Target, that doesn't look good. I want to start off on Target. You know, Target's not going anywhere. This looks like it might snap. That does worry me. I don't see lower than 87. They have earnings coming up. I expect this to go up leading up into earnings, which is mid-month, towards the end of the month. I think it's around, don't quote me on this, it's July 19th. I'd have to go back and look. Fact check me on that. Right now, it doesn't matter because I'll look it up after the video. It's also Sunday. I'm in equity. I jumped the gun. I should have sold a $95 put for the 15th and gotten assigned shares there, but I'm selling covered calls on it, lowering my dollar cost average. I'm going to roll the profit from the covered calls back into Target, lowering my dollar cost average. I'd like to get it down to around 100. We'll see here. Let me go ahead and jump into everything here. Let's pull up QQQ. Okay, I'm going to have my Sunday night watch list out as well, going over everything. Let's pull up QQQ and see what we have here. Let's go to the monthly. Okay, let's turn chats off. Let's lower this and let's come down to here. Let me bring my mug down. Classic 1, 2, 3. I called this out in last week's watch list when we were up here. Candlestick pattern. I believe this thing's coming down. I'm bearish. We've gone up straight since April. You know, we're in August right now. It's got to cool off at some point. Historically, I've been saying, I was like, hey, maybe there's a plot twist with the tariffs and everything. Everything's going to be fine. Nope, it's classic August. The market's going to connect to something to drop in August. July is a boom month. August is usually a bearish month. So is September. So, yeah, I expect downside. Let's take a look at the daily here. Sorry, someone was messaging me. I was reading that. We have a gap at 532 on QQQ. I expect that to be filled. We're heading in a low volume area over here. At minimum 540, 541, 535. This area right here is where I believe that we could bounce. If it goes lower than that, I definitely expect this gap to be filled. We have another gap down here. I don't see that happening. There's another one down here. I don't see that happening either. This one possibly, but this volume gap over here, absolutely. Right around there, 540. I expect that one to be filled. We could probably rally up on Monday. And a lot of things could rally on Monday. But overall, it's August. There's going to be bull days and there's going to be bear days. Overall, I'm leaning to the bear side. Let's keep it moving here. And I mean, all of them kind of have the same setup here. NVIDIA daily is bullish. I expect a reversal on Monday. Let's take a look at the weekly. There's a reversal candle up there. I'd like that to be a little bit higher. But 1, 2, 3 on the monthly. Let's take a look at Microsoft. Same setup as well. 1, 2, 3 on the monthly with a huge gap at 394. And this thing was 550. You know, this thing was in the 300s in April. Can you believe this? It's ridiculous. Why don't we, let's finish up with some of the tech-related stocks. Okay, that doesn't look good on AMD. Let's zoom in. If there was no wick there, that'd be a perfect shooting star just about. And I expect downside. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw, the volume really peels off down here. Over in here. I don't know if I necessarily see 122. It could absolutely happen. Look at the run up from the bottom on this 76 to 180, over 100% run. Of course, we're going to have a moment to cool off. This is not on the watch list, but everyone keeps thinking Intel chips. They've been saying this forever. People have been saying this since I've been trading, Intel, whenever it's down. It's like, they missed the AI race. They're done. Why wouldn't I just go for Nvidia during a crash rather than pick a loser because it's down expecting, what the newer people will do is they'll look at previous highs. They'll be like, "Oh my gosh, 75. Ooh, 68 and it's only 19. This is bearish. Very bearish. I'm selling the $19 cash secured puts on this. I'm probably going to get assigned. 17 is even lower, possibly 16 is on the table. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Ready? Which one's it going to be? It's two more tickers. N, H. I'm seeing a lot of garbage on X right now. People are like, "Oh my gosh, great time to buy the dip." I'm not talking about UNH. I'm going to get on UNH here in a second. And it's like, no, man. Everything's just ripped violently since April, and it had one little blip of dip of redness. And you think this is a 1-minute chart trader? Come on. People don't understand calendar trading and seasonally what happens during August as well as September. All right, we're sitting on a volume shelf right here. I'd like to see us bounce. I don't see any indication of that. There was no wick on the end of this candle at the end of the month. It was all selling, maybe a little tiny one. It did hold the volume shelf. If we crack this, I'm in. I don't have a lot of shares yet. I'm in. They're red. That's okay. Dollar cost averages in the 270s. It picks them up in the 250s and then the 280s. I think it's in the 270s. It's around there, maybe the 260s. If we crack this, we have massive volume shelves. I don't see it going to 84. But this is going to wipe a lot of people. A lot of people are picking this up right here, not minding the volume gap. I could see why you would get it over here in the 300s. I called it right at 248 perfectly, and it took off from there. I should have exited all the shares. I didn't expect it to come back down again, but we have anchored VWAP here around 170, 175. We also have COVID lows right here. COVID lows right there. There's also a low volume area. So we had earnings, and I don't expect this to do anything till the next earnings. Look at the earnings on this, though. It just keeps beating after beating. It's not looking good. RSI is low. If we just look at the RSI, we are at 2009 levels, and it remained low for a very long time, like 2 years. Let's adjust this chart a bit. This could happen. I'm not going to pick anything up. I've already picked up a little bit in the 240s, a little bit more to lower my dollar cost average. I want to see if we snap this volume shelf. If that happens, we have some support there at 213. I don't know if this is going to crack 200. I think around 200, it could possibly bounce. But if it does, if we get near 200, I may scale in a little bit more. But I'd like to see if we can hit this right here. I'd like to see if we could hit right here. Look at how many times I need to go ahead and mark that right there. This isn't done properly. Give me a second here. There we go. This needs to be moved down a little bit more. There we go. 213. Then we have that COVID level right there. So I'm going to be watching all of these levels. Let me go ahead and get off of that. Then we have COVID lows as well right there. Let's go ahead and make this watermark kind of disappear. There we go. 212, 287, right in that range. Then we have anchored VWAP. I don't see anything going lower than anchored VWAP. Keep in mind, healthcare, we don't have corrupt politicians in. The classic left wing and right wing lobbyists, funded by lobbyist politicians that are in. And this is like the equivalent. RFK and Bernie are kind of opposites on their political spectrum, but when it comes to healthcare, they would get rocked with either of them having anything to do with healthcare or having their word or say in it. And on top of the bad stuff that's happened healthcare is getting smacked right now. And I don't necessarily think it's a dip buy until we get a, classic lobbyist funded politician back in, which may not be till 2028. And things may change at that point. At the end of the day, healthcare is awful here in America. It's not awful, but it's very expensive. Um, I expect, and UNH had a lot of bad news, but that news is cleared. Keep in mind, here's the thing. The CEO and a lot of people on the board have been loading on this thing. Loading. They did jump the gun. I got it just about perfectly. I held it. Now I'm red. I scaled it more. I should not have scaled it more. I'm going to scale in more now, right? I scaled in more on the way up. I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited for us to drop, which I've already been scaling in more right now. But again, this level, anchored VWAP. If we can see anchored VWAP, this would clear out this lower volume gap area here at around 175, 170, anywhere in that range. So we'll see. Keep in mind, people are comparing this to Meta in 2022. No. All Meta has to do is be like AI, and the stock just tears $100. You know what I mean? They could probably pull something off like that, but this is not the case with UNH. Again, if we ignore all these levels in the chart and the drama that's going on, let's just look at it this way. It's not letting me pull this up. Again, let's look at it this way. Just the RSI, where we are. Was it a buy over there? Yeah. Is it a buy right here? I believe so. So let's see what happens heading into later this year, going into post-September. I mean, I expect downside on everything heading into the rest of this month. There's going to be massive rallies to the upside. Overall, I'm bearish with the candlestick patterns on the monthly for August and September. And October's a coin toss. Late September is usually the worst. And I don't believe Powell's gonna cut. And he may say something. Every time he gets on there, he just tries as hard as he can to bring everything down. He's going to be out in May of next year, which is a very long time away. So I don't expect him to play ball during FOMC in September, which we have coming up in about a month and almost 2 months here. I still expect November and December to boom, so including January. And then I expect, right around March there to be, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, and a rally due to the anticipation of Powell getting out. So watch these levels for UNH. I expect downside. There's not a lot that I'm looking for upside here. Bounce on NVIDIA, I believe, next week, and possibly Walmart. Walmart still looks fantastic over here. Looks absolutely great if we're looking at that. We have a gap fill over here as well to 102. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled on that. If you guys like this content, make sure to like and follow for more.